Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers, and I'm getting old. I just recorded again without my microphone, and I don't know why it was put in, but for some reason the X story just cancelled it and said no microphone for you today. Let me take a look at a different thing I found out while I was recording the last time. So at the moment I should be pretty straight. This time it worked. The last time I noticed that when I'm straight and I turn around, suddenly everything is off to some side. I don't know why it works now. Maybe I'm not in the right position or something like that, or I'm not doing it fast enough or whatever. But I turned around and you can see this here. In the recording I did, I finished this and then I broke it. And then I finished it again. I did a bit of a scouting tour with this thing and went out there and went over a hill, and then it crashed into the... we will go over there in a second. We will have to take a look at this anyways, because I changed some things to the last version, and you can see I colored it. I hope you like the color. It's a bit like the Danish or the Swiss flag. A sprinkle of Coca-Cola. I don't know. But one thing that it definitely does is it turns into the sun. I was toying with the idea how I want to have this sail. And I had the idea to maybe use another programmable block and then go in here and use the solar panel script that I'm using over there to maybe, use the sail as a bit of an addition to the reactor. And before it worked pretty much really well because I used the normal civilian hover engines. We will talk about that in a second. And now it works more as something that gives us a bit of extra power, makes the reactor not use up so much fuel. I added a battery to it. That's also pretty nice because now we can store up energy, and if we are standing somewhere, we don't use up any fuel. It should be good. This one day, that's always because it uses the battery also says I have so and so much power. It lasts for a day or something like that. I've brought in some more thrusters for the back here to be able to power over hills or something like that. Added another display for the solar panel script. It gives me information on how much power is created, but the problem is the small screen is pretty much useless when it comes to that. And this is all set up so that when I turn the ship, it turns the sail with it. Cool thing, or one thing I wanted to try out, and I now lost because of the microphone thing, is that I wanted to see, and I fiddled around with the script itself because I wanted to see if I can up the rotor speed. And maybe that's a thing that I can get help with, so that I can can have maybe a higher speed for the sail. At the moment it turns pretty slow, so it takes a while until it points towards the sun. It's not perfect, but it looks nice to have some moving parts on the whole sailor here. I've added some I've added some things, and that's maybe an opinion I want to get from you. At the moment, I'm using just one mod on this thing, except for the for the scripts. I don't count them as mods. One thing I noticed is that the small blocks, there's not a lot of detailing, small detail blocks you can use, like some stairs or these window blocks, these ones that you can get in the big form factor. In the small form factor, there are none. And I asked maybe I should put in a small mod pack or so to be able to do something more with it. But if I put that on the workshop, that would mean you have to put in more and more mods, and maybe that's not to your liking. For this one, you will just need, at the moment, just the hover engines. That's, by the way, a thing. I want to put this on the workshop. It would be nice to have, again, some name suggestions. By the way, the last time I took the name Bison for this thing. That's what I really liked, and maybe we should put that in. I named it on the workshop. It is named Bison, and the idea for that name was pretty nice. I think it came from Solo Spirit. I'm not sure. I would have to look that up. I will give you a certain answer in the next episode, and maybe then we also name it like it is named on the shop page. But for now, we want to concentrate on the now. See, now I'm completely everything's crooked again. So these engines, I've put more on it because, again, the last time I went over a hill, this thing just lost contact to the ground and then crashed because the engines were not strong enough to cancel out the movement. So it basically went into the ground, everything broke off, and then I had to turn it around, put some thrusters on it, fly it back home, grind down everything that lay on that was on the ground there. By the way, that's one of the things that I want to do. I want to build at one point a building craft so that we can just bring this craft over to stuff like that and then repair things maybe on the spot and not have to bring it back there. These do a pretty good job when it comes to stopping forces, and I also added the option, you can see that down in the hotbar, that I can lower it and make it higher, lower the minimum distance they are up from the ground. I tend to now do a bit more so that there's a bit of a cushion before something goes into the ground. I added an ore detector, added a bit more turning power with another gyroscope. Everything else is pretty much the same as it was before, I think. I would say we go on a small drive around. I will show you the crash site, but that there's a lot to see, but we can use that to have a bit of a drive around. So let's hop in. So the ship works normal like always. We turn on let us turn on the vector, turn on the thruster there. You can, by the way, see that there's a new option in the whole script, there's a cruise mode now. We'll test that in a second. 1WSX10 asked me to test it for this thing because he thinks it's perfect for this craft, and that's what I want to do. Let us hover up and then climb. Here, by the way, you can see where the problem is. Do you see the red line there in the front? I don't know what this is, why this happens. It doesn't go away unless I hover over. Oh, okay, now the others do it too. Unless I hover over a certain height. And that's what I want to do. Good. Let us drive around this. Yes. And go to the lake. I like this craft. This craft is fast. It's maneuverable. It looks pretty nice. And there you can see the sail is moving. Now it should move. It always takes a while until it acts, basically. Can't really tell if there's a way to speed this up, but it's nice. So now it starts to point into the sun again. The other idea, and maybe you have an opinion on that, was to just have the rotor use just two points where it can rotate to, and then have a button on the hotbar to just point it into one direction, point it into the other, so that there's a bit of movement in the sail. I took a lot of I took a look at a lot of videos of these ice sailors. These ice sailors, by the way, or ice boats, are usually relatively small. This one is pretty big, but hey, we have monster thrusters on there and all that stuff, so I'm definitely okay with that. Let us just go down just a bit, not too down, just a bit to be closer to it. Now we have to slow down pretty hard. I don't want to hit anything. Yeah, we shouldn't go too fast with it. That was the problem that I had with crashing it. Yeah, okay, let me go to the other side again and test the new mode that's in the script. It's basically a cruise mode. 1WSX10 built in a cruise mode where you can see that we still have the dampeners on, but the speed stays roughly the same. I'm pointing towards my monitor, and that's completely useless to you. So if we now turn, the ship stays roughly at the same speed, and it tries to negate sidewards movements. So now we basically can set it, and then just it will go straight and try to just negate sideways movement instead of stopping it completely. There is a certain limit, so when you turn too hard, then it can't do that anymore. But that's completely okay for me. Let us go up again so I don't see the red line. And now sometimes the hover engines put some speed into it. If you point down, for example, then it sometimes slows up. If you go back, it slows you down. And with the military versions, by the way, you can see we can go pretty high with them until it brings us down. And I like that we have this that it goes sideways a bit. In this sport of these ice sailors, they do hard turns or something like that by pushing the the boat, I will call it boat now, onto two of the skates, and then it lifts the other skate up from the ice, and it's crazy. It's a crazy sport. It's a really crazy sport. Something is up there. What's that? Okay, oh, that's the point, the GPS point. I'd have to turn some of the stuff down. I'm getting too many signals here. That needs to stop. Let me get rid of this one for now too. At the moment I don't need a lot of materials, so I'm pretty good. Okay, let us speed up again. We are still using the cruise mode. If we want to slow down, we can just slow it down by pressing S, so that it slows the whole craft down. One thing I want to know is, and that's a thing I will test now, is if I go backwards, will it... Okay, backwards movement will be stopped. Good! That's good to know. Let us go to the crash site just for a moment. So this, I like this thing. I absolutely like this thing. Oh no, man. Isn't it? I think it's good looking. It's a good looking craft, a good looking small craft. Again, maybe we can make it look a bit nicer with some detailing blocks, but you will have to let me know what you think about that. I will turn off the cruise mode because there's some trees where I crashed, and there's some holes. I don't want to drive into that, so let us go a bit slower. I like it. I like this craft. This craft is nice. Yeah, give me a name so that I can put it on the workshop. There's a certain script developer that puts ships that use his script onto his workshop page. I would like to land there, and the problem with it is that he likes to have good names. He's right about that. A ship with a good name, yeah, a ship should have a good name. So, yeah, give me a good name for this, and then we can, yeah, put it under a good name on the workshop. No, so this, it should be somewhere here, I think. Here? I think it's this, maybe it's at these trees there, but I think it's this hill I went over. I moved onto land because again, this ship is completely able to go onto land, and it's really nice at being used there. And maybe we can go higher up if we see here are the holes. It crashed me into the ground, and then the whole thing broke into two parts. Basically, the cockpit was pretty safe, and the reactor and all that stuff was not damaged. But again, I had to roll it around and then grab some motors to put some thrusters on it, and then I flew it basically back with that thing. Isn't that nice? Yeah, again, I hope you like it too. I will go back now. We will end the episode. Sorry for not being able to show you any of the crashes. I would have been able to show you that, but again, without commentary, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and talking over it, I don't really like to do that. For me, it's awkward enough to sit here and talk to nobody, basically. So it's great. I really like it. it's an absolute blast to drive this thing. And here on the planet, we can definitely do a lot of stuff with it. Good. Let me park it, and then we will end the episode, I would say. Oh, come on. Don't go crazy now on me. That would be nice. Okay. We can lower it to the ground, and then we just turn off the engines. Now the sail can move into the right position, load the battery, and see, isn't this nice? Good people, I would say thanks for watching. Hope you liked the episode anyways, and I hope you like this craft. Again, give me name suggestions. Something fast, something sleek. that would be nice. Maybe something with ice or so. And yeah, that's all for today. Good. If you like the episode, please leave a like on the video. Take a look at the description. There's all the links to all the social media stuff and Patreon and my Discord. Would like to see you there. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next episode. See ya, guys.